now, without further ado, I'm going to show you the best find in Knorpp history. Wow. I know, wow.
Okay.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Knorpp and South. In our last video, we completed the hardest move of our life into our rental house here. If you have no idea what's going on, I don't blame you. So I would go back 3 videos to where we explain kind of what we're doing and how we're moving. If you're even confused by that, go back a couple more videos to how Mike is working on a career change. And that kind of threw everything, into chaos.
Right, total chaos.
No, but it's been really fun. And even though our plans have changed, we feel very directed and happy with where we're at. It's been 2 weeks since we moved into the house. And I wanted to show you just an update of where we're at. And partially because you guys know Mike and I, and that we thrift a lot of our furniture. Mike actually probably plays more of the role of keeping us from thrifting a lot of things, which is good. It's necessary. But we found the greatest and most valuable find of our life in the last couple weeks for our house, and we're very happy, and we'll share that with you. But also just some other things that maybe aren't as valuable but are really helpful. So we thought we'd start at the very beginning, and that's the porch. If you remember, I got this 15-gallon crock back at the thrift store 3 years ago maybe, and Mike built me a little structure so I could put my Costco mums in it, and I love it. It looks really cute.
So cute.
No, it's perfect. And I hope to be able to use that on the porch and switch it out for the seasons. I have like this, I got this at the thrift store a while back and thought use it more as a decor item, but it actually works really well on the porch. I think it is a decor item.
Yeah, it is for sure.
But because the bristles are really hard, it gets stuff off the concrete a lot better than a regular broom.
So Jude is actually, I saw him using it.
I use it. I think it's awesome.
It's very loud.
I'm very happy with it. So that stays out here.
I was telling him it was a decoration. He's like, no, Mom told me I could use this. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all we've done out here. I do need to get a wreath for the door. I think I will also probably repaint the door. And then I'm really happy to be able to thrift stuff for over here. We've got a good-sized porch, and we could have some really good seating out here to enjoy the coming cooler weather.
It is coming, right?
Yes, I think so. So I don't know what, you never know what. When you're thrifting, most of what you buy or getting it secondhand, you just kind of keep watching. And I have like a list these days of like things I'm looking for, because I will often forget when I go into an antiques mall or to a thrift store or to marketplace, and I will look through and remember, because sometimes I need just one little thing, like a little bowl for a certain task. Anyways, so that's my tip of the day.
Ooh,
but
good tip.
Without further ado, let's go inside. First off, it's really nice to have an entryway again, and I was able to put down this Persian rug that I got back in the day off Marketplace for $85. I hope that some of you aren't uncomfortable with me being very clear about buying things. In part, I do that because I love pretty things, but I don't love spending a lot of money. And I love having cat hair on my pretty things. You guys see that?
Oh, wow.
And I can't afford a new Persian or a secondhand Persian from a normal carpet place, but I can watch Marketplace and I can go to thrift stores. And so I got this beautiful, at least vintage Persian for $85. It was great. I love this layout. It's a traditional central passage, but maybe a little bit more modernized. A lot of you have mentioned it looks like some of our other rentals, and it does. But I feel like it's the best of all of them. It's a great size, it still feels cozy, and it just doesn't have a lot of wasted space, which I'm very happy about. This is going to be our library room. You can see the kids started digging through, we all miss our books, so they started digging through the books yesterday. I'm very happy that we have this space because we do have, over, I think, 1,200 books or something. We are homeschoolers, but also I'm just a collector of books. I love books. So what we're going to do here, because we're renting, is we're going to have Mike build some shelves for us. Somebody asked me the other day, why not just IKEA? Well, IKEA is cheap, but it's actually cheaper to build your own shelves, and then you get solid wood bookshelves. And so that's a future project, and that will be fun to share that with you guys. But we're also going to build them in a way that like they're easy to take down and take with us. And I guarantee you, I will use bookshelves wherever I go, because I take these, I think it's like 22 boxes of books with me.
It was
everywhere we go.
ridiculous.
I have my boys take those 22 boxes of books with me wherever I go.
I told Megan we have to move before Peter and Asher move out if we're going to move out of this house. So
Yeah, I know.
that's the rule.
Another thing you will see is that Mike requested that we only have it be a sitting room and a library, because when we have too many duties in this room, there's nowhere to sit for a more formal visit, or just to have separate living areas. So often we'll have another family over and the kids will be all on the couches and it'll be kind of loud, and the parents want to like go into another room and talk. And we needed enough seating for that. We obviously don't have enough seating for that quite
Not yet.
But that meant that we wanted to set aside a room in the house for a sewing machine, painting supplies, project supplies, our arts and crafts supplies. And putting it in here would have just, if you would have come in and seen like junk everywhere.
Yeah, it would have been kind of a mess.
And I'm okay with a mess, except you feel like it's kind of discouraged. It discourages you from getting into things. And absolutely, you want to put it away that day. And so many projects are better served if they can stay out for a longer period of time. And so we set up that other room, which drew some really...
Some controversy.
Yes, a lot of controversy, particularly from a certain individual who has reached heights of like comedy, I think, and how upset they are, because it meant that Jude went into this huge room. All three boys are in one huge room. I thought it was great because so often he's younger. He kind of gets like grouped with the younger girls and not the older boys, and I want him to be folded in with that crew. So I think they're really happy. It's a really big room. And they're also using that extra room for all the projects, but also for working out.
There's a pull-up bar in there
There's
now.
a pull-up bar in there. And so, you know, some of our kids like literally have businesses where they're making things, crafting things, and we just wanted a space for that they didn't have to use their bedroom. So that is why we have it set up that way. It's kind of a mess. I unpacked a box full of copper items.
As you do.
And I don't know what to do with them. So I opened my antique desk and put them on here. I think I'll probably downsize some of these things that I don't need and maybe aren't as hard to find, and then keep more of the antique items like this. This is older. This is like an actual copper handmade bucket, hand forged.
Copper pot, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. So
Chester copper pot.
Chester copper pots.
Sì, è Chester Copperpot.
This is a mess, but it will be a really, really fun
promise
project.
it won't be a mess forever.
I
for the next
I don't
6
mind
months.
it. We don't have anybody coming over right now anyways. Well, we have had some people come over, but it's okay. Also, you will hear throughout this video music. Another thing we encourage in our homeschool is for our kids to play an instrument. Pearl's practicing her flute right now. Peter's practicing his electric guitar right now. I tried to get him to put his electric guitars on the wall in the project room, but he wants them in his bedroom. But we have put the digital piano down here. It is not the most beautiful of pieces of furniture, but it's great. Well, in theory, it was great because they were supposed to be able to put headphones in so we wouldn't hear the practicing. That's never happened, ever.
It's not as fun if other people can hear it, so you know.
Jude wants to start taking lessons in piano, so we're hoping to find someone close by that we can do that with. But this is our dining room.
I think this room is pretty much set up, don't you think?
Yeah, it's ready to go. I mean, it was the first room I focused on, and it's really beautiful.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah, no, I don't know when I'm going to get to this room. I have to find a table, and I don't know what size table to get. I don't know. So right now it's like the lamp shop. I'm like, you need a lamp, go to the front room and find one. It's all of our boxes of art and mirrors and shelves. And it apparently is where people are preparing for D&D. But it's this sort of thing like that I'm excited to put upstairs. I mean, obviously it's going to make its way to the kitchen table, but if they want to have a multi-day project, I would like it to be in the project room upstairs. I will also be replacing the light once I find a table, because I'm not exactly sure what size it needs to be or shape or whatever. You guys saw in the last video, if you watched it, that we brought in the Deacon's bench. This is my antique Deacon's bench from Pennsylvania. It's got its original paint and I love it. And I almost sold it when we were in our little house because we really didn't have room for it there, but I held on to it and I'm so happy that I did. And also that there's such a perfect little spot for it. I've already seen it used. People come downstairs, get their shoes on here, or guests sit down before they're headed out. And if it's perfect here, then there's still plenty of room. Also, I had this big lithograph that I found at the thrift store from Michel Delacroix. This is like, I got it for 20 bucks. It's so beautiful. It's like worth a couple $1,000s, I think. And I put it in storage because I didn't have any walls big enough in our little house for it. And I'm so happy that it now has like pride of place here. I love it. I think it's the cheeriest, happiest little Paris street scene. I love his stuff if you've never seen it. Well, now we're in the kitchen. What I like about this home is that it does have kind of more places for people to go, but it still has the open living room kitchen. And in fact, this is the first house that I've ever lived in that has the sink on the island. And I have really enjoyed that, actually being able to look out instead of always having my back turned. So much so that maybe someday I will have a house and I will put the burners on the island too.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like I have all of this light-filled space around me, and it's really nice. It also has space for stools, and we went with the very basic stools because they're so small that you can fit more people. Now, so first of all, stools are expensive, and we looked like extensively at thrift stores over the last couple weeks and on Marketplace. Even used stools are expensive. I need to get into the stool industry. But we ultimately just got these from Amazon. I can put the link down below because they were inexpensive but solid and just the perfect size to just scoot under there so that even when I'm cooking, I can come over here and sit down. Another great thing is, I think like this is the unsung hero of the stool world because like you want to be able to sit down quickly and like turn and get up, and so often now our stools are beautiful but also kind of bulky and you can't.
Yeah, they have the backs on them and stuff.
Yeah, so I think these are great because you can sit from any angle. They can see a lot of people.
And they can tuck away real easy.
Yeah, and they tuck away really easily. One of the things we replaced when we moved into this rental was these lights were here, but they had a very builder grade.
Let's see.
Shade on them, glass shade, and I thought maybe we would replace them completely, but then found these like clear glass, more globy shades at Lowe's, and just put those on there, and I think it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does.
The other glass is that frosted glass, and it also feels like it gets dirty so easily. Like the texture
grime
of the
builds up on it.
Yes, I think it's because it's like sandblasted, and it like it's like holds it or something. So that I think makes a big difference here in the kitchen. We're very pleased that this rental has just a very neutral backsplash and granite countertops. I've already got all of my stuff out, my thrifted KitchenAid. And
that's been awesome.
I love that
KitchenAid.
thing
We got
so
it
much.
for how much?
Like
$100?
less, I think. Yeah.
Maybe 75. I don't remember.
Yeah, but another thing that we found on Marketplace was this table.
Oh, okay.
In our last video you saw we put up a folding table here, and we thought we would just get like a small cafe table, like a little round pedestal table. But the folding table was like actually a really great size. We thought it fit in the space really well. And so I started looking for tables with that dimension, you know, only 30 inches across and about 6 feet long. Not as easy as you think, but I scored this beautiful custom-made table from a lady down in the city who had this beautiful home and was obviously not in need of funds because I got it really, really cheaply, only $100 from her. And it's just beautiful. I'm very happy with it. Another thing that we discovered after we moved in, the kitchen is very open, but it's really not that much cabinetry. And I have a lot of kitchen implements and tools, and I didn't know where I was going to put all of them. I could obviously put them in the basement, which is unfinished, and we have shelving down there. I could put them in the garage, but I wanted them more accessible. And so we had this shelf. This was left in our little house when we bought it. It was in the like laundry room. It was junky and dusty and had like old paint cans on it, but I loved it because it was the wood had naturally aged, and it's a great size and it's so solid. And so I cleaned it up and we brought it in here. It has been being used once for us as that sort of garage storage too. But I think it looks great. I put all my cookbooks on it and things that I am grabbing all the time, serving bowls, mixing bowls, serving plates. And I also think it looks really pretty there. So I kind of purposefully put my less pretty stuff in the cabinets and more pretty stuff out here. Not all the way, like I still have like our popcorn maker and some of our appliances down there. I use these baskets I've thrifted for rags and towels because the drawers are also really small here. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
they're very
small.
shallow, and so putting
And
towels in
there
there,
are
you're
many
like, ugh. And so that's a much better use or easier way to get all of your towels because we go through a lot of towels here. So I think it looks pretty cute. Another thing that I think people don't realize you can do to really make a difference in a rental in a place that you don't own is change out the lighting. It's not as complicated as you think. And you just take the builder grade light, which is so often there, or maybe just a really dated light that you don't like, and you can put it up in your attic or in a closet or in your garage and put in a new light. And so thrift stores are full of lights that other people did not love or felt were dated. And you can pick those up and hang those up. And that's exactly what we did. I was at a local thrift store looking for stools, and I saw this chandelier. I don't have a lot of red stuff, but I just saw it and I loved it, and I thought, well, that is a super fun piece. And so I had Mike hang it for me, and I just think it makes the house feel a little bit more like it's full of found pieces. It's kind of made it feel less like a brand new house or a rental, or I don't know. I think it adds a little quirkiness to the room. And now, without further ado, I'm going to show you the best find in Knorpp history. Wow. I know, wow.
You really set us up here. For
I know what it is. When we were out, we were looking for all sorts of things, like I said, that were on my list. But we weren't looking necessarily for a sofa. But then we saw this sofa.
Wow.
It's the funny thing about thrift stores is I'll put a photo up here of what it looked like in the thrift store. Everything looks uglier in a thrift store. It is like really hard to see things. But I was like, whoa, that looks pretty. And Mike and I went and sat down on it. I think I recorded that. Okay, we're sitting on a sectional, which we've been kind of anti-sectional for a while. And I'm an anti-sectional, but then we sat on it and it was so comfortable. It's down. So comfortable. I want it. And as you saw, we were both like, this is actually really, really comfortable. It's down cushions and really soft fabric, and it was not very much money. And then I looked at it, looked for tags, found the sofa, and found that it's still being sold, and it's nearly $7,000 for this sofa.
Whoa.
I know, it was amazing. I've never, ever found something like this before. And we snatched it right up, and there happened to be a discount that day. So I will say, maybe it's kind of tacky, but we got this sofa at the thrift store for $550.
What did you just say?
Well, it's a lot to pay at a thrift store for a sofa, but it had just been brought out onto the showroom floor. In fact, when we bought it, the guys were like, we just brought that out because it's kind of big and heavy.
Employees were not happy with this. The guys who move stuff around.
They were kind of giving us a hard time.
No, they were
joking. But, and we just happened to be there right then because I'm sure it would have gone quickly. And it has been amazing. The kids love it. They've had their friends over. We can lounge on it. We can watch movies together, which we do so often, or the kids are obsessed with Little House on the Prairie right now. You can fit 2 people over there next to each other with their legs outstretched. It's amazing.
It's a big sofa.
I love it. And I think it's a neutral and I like that it's not as cottagecore style as that. Like, I like a lot of traditional things, but I also like that it is it has more modern lines so that my house doesn't become too much of like a theme or like something out of the past. So I really like that. On the floor is a rug that you may not have seen before. It was in the boys' bedroom, but I thrifted this rug. I think I got it for I'm not kidding, I think I got it for $20, but it is a hand-knotted, really pretty rug, and I love the colors.
How big is this rug, Megan?
I think it's 8 by 10, maybe a little bit bigger. Also, this is a future project. I want to make sure we can get some more wires so that we have more hanging. I just think that's really beautiful.
The wires are cool.
And I even if we won't need it, I want to get as many of these as possible. I just think it's really pretty. No, obviously this is not what it's going to be. I think I'll eventually put this in Eve's room and with kids' books on it. And I do want a hearth again. And so I am on Marketplace all of the time looking at fireplaces and to put this in again that we had at our little house.
So
and
how would we accomplish that, Megan? I don't know if
okay,
that's
so
really clear.
If we find just a mantle, I'd like to find an antique wood mantle if I do just a mantle. And then Mike will build me a box that we like throw it onto and we maybe tile the inside. It'll be just like a cabinet. It'll be a piece of furniture that then comes with us. Mm-hmm. But I want a mantle. I feel like visually it's roots, like it grounds the room. Yeah, and I know a lot of people don't like fireplaces, but I love fireplaces. I want a hearth. I think it's so cozy. And I want to hang my stockings on it, and I want to do that. And so
your stockings or like Christmas stockings?
Just my stockings. That's just where I like to hang them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Eventually that will happen, but I don't know when. And then we'll figure out the whole room. It's just random right now. An American flag, a stack of pillows,
boxes, all that good stuff.
Another thing that is in talks with the family council, specifically with Mom and Dad, is whether or not this room needs curtains. And you can see that it does. I think it's been determined by the authoritative individuals on the council that even though we have blinds and even though they're never closed because we just face the forest, the walls of this house are very creamy white and it's nice, but it doesn't feel very cozy. Mm-hmm. And so I also happen to have a big roll of fabric that would go perfectly. So Mom, if you're watching and you just feel like making a bunch of curtains again, no, I don't know what we're doing here yet. I've been shopping for curtains because that would obviously be easier, but I'm thinking, and I just feel like it would really make this room feel a lot more done and would bring a lot of color in without having to paint or anything along those lines. It would just soften the room. Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about that, Mike?
I don't care. I don't have to make the curtains, so yeah. I'm fine with that.
So I think it would especially look pretty if we had 2 curtains right here in those colors that were be in the books and in my antique. I think this is about a 100-year-old print. It's like a poster essentially from like the 1920s of this French musketeer or something. I love him. I love his colors. He makes me chuckle. I love him. And
he's got quite a look.
Yes, he's great.
He's looking down on you all the time.
And I got him at the thrift store, I think, literally for like $9.99. I love him, though. He's so cute. We'll see. I think we could use maybe a couple chairs on either side that we could pull up when there's a big group here. I don't know. But you know that I love doing this. And I love thrifting, partially because it saves me a bajillion dollars. And I'm able to get things I could never get, like this sofa. But also because, I just feel like it brings a gathered feeling to my home, a lot of texture to my home instead of, and it gives me variety. I'm able to have things that I feel like are interesting and that maybe people aren't seeing in other places. And I don't know, I like the slow gathering, the kind of organic growth of your decor, and thrift stores are a great place to do that. So that's it. And we have a lot of fun projects ahead, things that I'm looking forward to. Mike has a place to study now. He's upstairs studying.
Yeah. We have room in our room to do that. It's pretty awesome.
And we all feel so comfortable having so much space. It was great to have the 5 months in the RV and all of the trips that we took and the freedom it gave us to have Mike study up in the valley and be near some of our older kids. But now we just feel so decadent to have restrooms with all this space and be able to brush our teeth while someone's in the shower without stealing the water from them. And it feels really, really, really comfortable. We're really happy. And we feel very blessed to have found this place that's so close to the airport that Mike is now getting the next part of his pilot training done at. It's literally just minutes away.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So thanks for coming along, guys. And don't forget to like and comment, even if they're kind of crazy comments about bedroom placement of children. We didn't go upstairs today just because there's not really, it's just like beds and dressers and stuff.
Not a lot to show.
But comment and subscribe if you haven't. And also come back for September pies. What we usually do is I kind of explain the pie, we make the pie, and then we eat the pie. And everybody kind of weighs in on how they think, if they think it's a good one, or the texture and the taste. And it's really fun. It is fun. I'm a little nervous because it's 30 pies. I'm looking down the barrel at 30 pies. But I did it last time, and it was so enjoyable. So I'm sure it will be
I'm sure you'll have a great time. I know we'll have a great time eating the pies. So.
All right. Thanks, guys. And until next time, see ya.